Hey everybody, since a few folks have been asking, I'm going to do a quick solo run video of how to play the single player mode for MINDBURNERS. People should be getting their copies soon if they haven't already. This was on Kickstarter recently, and I'm really excited that people seem to be digging it. This is great. I'm going to just do a quick bash through of a solo game, and so let kind of folks know how that works. The solo mode rules are included in the main game, but I just wanted to give you sort of a video run through kind of what that looks like. Okay, so in a solo game, we start by making a few general modifications to the setup. So the first thing you'll do is for the ability cards, so all the cards that are marked abilities in the back, you take out 11 cards, and these 11 cards are anything that pertains specifically to targeting another player or dealing, engaging with other players. So Burning Hands, Siphon Luck, Paralytic Gaze, Life Shot, Curse Victory, Data Drain, Death Harvester, Enhance Pain, although I do really love this card, Mind Hack, and Spectral Shove, and then Telepathic Pull. So all the cards that specifically have language on them relating to other players, we're going to take those out of the game and put them back in the box for now. So the remaining abilities you have are basically only relate to you, essentially, as the solo player. So shuffle the ability deck really well, which I've already done, and put that there. I've already shuffled the roll events deck. I've already shuffled the 10-card void deck. And I have a victory point card, which is tucked under the energy and hit point card. We start the game with 5 energy and 5 hit points. In solo mode, you don't use the overcharge ability, so that's not going to be factored in with this playthrough. And then, so the other really specific thing about solo mode is you're playing against yourself. So the idea is all of the additional cards that would be for other players, you take them, turn them upside down, and then this becomes your time tracking deck for the game. So at the end of every run, you remove one of these cards from the time tracking deck, and the idea is you have to score 10 victory points before the last card is removed. If you don't succeed, then basically when these cards run out at the end of the last turn, you'll lose the game. So that's kind of how the solo mode works. It's more of like trying to figure out how you can basically beat the clock, which is not as easy as it sounds, although I've had a couple runs that went pretty well before. It's been a while since I've played solo, so let's just dive in. So everything is all set up. I've got my little token, the void deck is ready to go. I start by drawing 3 ability cards. And let's see, I'll play open-handed for the most part, as much room as there is. So I've got temporal lapse. I can skip 2 creature encounters, that's cool. Phase shift, I can ignore the effects of 1 roll event or void event of my choice. And circuit upgrade, I can discard this card and draw 2 more cards. Well, I think I'm going to get set up. I'm going to set myself up to have a little bit more options. So I'm going to play, because certain cards can be played before the void run. So this is the preparation phase. Before I enter the void, I can do a number of things. I can play certain cards that have a P symbol. So these can be played during the preparation phase. I can optionally choose to spend 2 energy to boost my hit points by 1 point. That can be useful, but I only have 5 energy to start, so I'm going to try to not do that this time. I could basically scrap a health to draw an extra card, which can be useful, and then overcharge is not used in this game. So I'm just going to go and play Circuit Upgrade, which allows me to basically discard this and draw 2 more cards, so that I've got a little bit more options to kind of potentially survive my first run here. So I've got Blood Program, I can gain some hit points. I'm going to save that, I think, because that could be useful. Alright, so now I'm going to enter the void. So I'm going to start by running the void. The first card is drawn of the 10 cards, and I immediately have to resolve this card. So, great, I take a damage. Woo, that happens. So these kind of creature encounters, basically, I believe there's 2 1-damage creatures, 2 2-damage creatures, and 2 3-damage creatures. And it's pretty hard to survive all of them if you don't have cards and other things. So I just took a damage. So now at this point, I could choose to either basically like bank my energy. So every card that you do successfully survive, you get 1 energy at the end of the basically end of the run that lets you boost for the next run. But because you're in the solo mode, you're really trying to get victory points and push your luck before time runs out. I'm just going to stay and go with the next card. So next card is drawn. I'm choosing to stay. It's revealed. And cool. Void Beacon. So I get a victory point. So I'm going to move my victory point tracker up 1. That's good to get earlier on. But the other thing is, too, there's only 2 victory point cards in the Void deck. So there's 10 cards in this deck, and they cycle, and as you start to see kind of what the cards are, you can kind of guess about what's coming up, and that kind of factors into the push your luck element a little bit. However, if I do manage to survive the entire 10 cards, I also get 2 bonus victory points, which is kind of critical in the solo mode, so we'll see how that goes. I'm obviously going to stay and see what I get. Ooh, that was a rough one. 3 damage. Wow. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. So I'm at 1 health. This is bad. I'm going to... Oh, see, okay. So if I want to play some of these abilities, I need to have enough energy to do it. So I can't actually play this card because I don't have enough energy. So that's a bummer. That would have been really useful. I could use this to ignore the damage, but I think I'm going to hang on to it. I'm going to play... I'm going to spend 3 energy to play Blood Program, so I instantly gain 4 hit points. Useful. So I'm back up to 5. I've got some decent options, so I'm going to push my luck and go again. And I get another victory point. So the solo mode is not as punchy and like back and forth as the multiplayer game, but it does get sort of tense as you start to, like, depending on what cards you can do. Like if I didn't have any extra cards that could potentially help me out, it would be bad. So I gain a victory point, so I'm up to 2 victory points. Keep in mind, I only have this turn plus 5 more turns to get up to 10. Now, what do I want to do? Do I want to... Let's see. I'm going to keep pushing my luck because I don't have much choice. So I'm going to draw. So let's see. I think since I have limited space here, I'm going to move these up a little bit and draw below. So I'm going to go here, move my token to this guy. Cool, so Chance Matrix. This could be good or bad, it depends on the card. So I'm going to draw a roll event card. Ooh, none of this is going to be delightful. And then I roll the dice to see what happens, basically. And I got a 1, so nothing happens. In this case, that's good because that would have been bad. I want to keep the cards I have for the most part. Cool. So I'm going to keep pushing it, because why not? All right, take a damage. So also, assuming I don't die by the end of this run, I will be able to get energy for each card I've successfully passed. So that's cool. I'm going to keep going, because I don't have much choice this round. So I'm going to take 2 damage from Ballistic Corpse. And, yeah. What do I want to do? So I've got up to 7 cards, so there's 3 more cards in here. And I'm looking, yeah, honestly, 2 of those cards are going to be just kind of judging from what's out on the board. I know that there's at least the next 2 of those cards are going to be damage cards, probably, because I don't see any 2 damage, or no, I don't see the other 3 and 2 out here. So basically, my chances of taking damage are going to be rough, but I'm going to try to use an ability to see if I can bypass some of that. I'm just going to go and see what happens. All right. Shoot. That would have killed me, except I'm going to play Phase Shift. So I'm going to ignore the event of 1 roll event or void event of my choice. So this is a void event card. Normally I would take damage. I'm going to play this to ignore it. Boom. So now this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because there are 2 cards left. No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good because I have enough health to survive if... No, do I? No, I don't. One of those cards is 3 damage. Alright, so here's the problem. I can't survive the full run because I know one of these cards is going to be a 3 damage card because there's 2 of them in the deck and I haven't found the other one yet. So because I don't have any abilities that I can afford to play that actually let me do that, I'm going to pay 1 energy to play... I'm going to play Void Sight to look at the next card before deciding whether I want to keep going or not, which gives me a chance to potentially avoid getting totally smoked here. And that was a good choice because that would have totally annihilated me. So I'm going to I'm going to hold. So by doing that, basically, I'm I survive this run, I'll be leaving the void. So now I count up, basically I've got 8 energy. So 1 for each card I've successfully cleared. I will boost my energy by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm up to 10 energy, which is going to be awesome for next round. I only got 2 victory points from that run, but I think I'm in decent shape, so I'm sorry I'm talking a lot, but yeah. Also, one thing you could do is if you survive the run, so if I lost, I would have to discard my entire hand. I don't get energy for all this, which is really bad. Like if you push it too far, it can be really unpleasant. But because I survived, I get to choose a card, and I only have 1 card left in my hand. So I'm going to keep this card for next round because that could be really useful. And that's just going to hang on to that. So what happens now is I remove 1 card from the tracking deck. So I've got 5 rounds left to get 10 victory points. I'm also going to draw abilities back up to 3. So I got Future Optics, which is basically during roll events, I get to choose a second card and we can kind of decide which one to do. This one's good. Draw the next 3 cards, look at them, and then return them down and face down in any order, and then skip. So these together are expensive to play, but I could potentially use these to my advantage. So I'm going to quickly clear the void deck. So take the whole deck, reshuffle it a lot. I'll try to do a good job of shuffling this. So this is my second run. The solo mode, I feel like, is not necessarily quite as juicy and as exciting as having the engagement of like back and forth with players, throwing abilities around, but I do find that it gets a little bit intense as the time tracking deck runs out, and depending what cards you get and how you choose to play. I've had some runs that were really super nail-bitey in terms of just how am I going to like survive this last thing and push my luck to get the victory points I need to survive. But I wanted to have a solo mode just so that people have the opportunity to play this game by themselves. Sorry, so I'm going to set up the void deck. That's good. Got my ability cards. I'm going to, let's see. Do I want to? I can't play any of these now during this preparation phase. I'm going to reset my hit points back to 5. I want to save my energy though, but I could. All right, so I'm gonna gamble a little bit. So I'm going to spend 2 energy to boost my hit points to 6, just to give myself a little extra wiggle room there. And then I'm going to enter the void. Let's get this going. Second run. So I'll try to go through this quickly. Starting off with the chance matrix. So I'm going to draw a chance card. This is a chance card I like because I could potentially get a victory point from it. So I'm going to roll. Yes! All right, cool. So I gain a victory point. Up to 3. Good. Great. Neat. All right, so I'm going to keep going. Ugh. I love the name of this card. I'm not sure how I came up with it. But Liquid Mother. I take 2 damage. So boom, boom, down to 4. I'm doing pretty good so far. I think I'm going to see if I can push this run to get all the way. I think I have the ability cards that will let me basically do this, like to push all the way and get through the end of the thing to get extra victory points. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to progress in the void, take 1 damage, easy peasy. So here's sort of the problem. If I draw any of the 3 damage creatures, that's the end of my run, and I definitely am in trouble. I could spend energy to play one of these cards, but this is where it gets tricky. So I'm just gonna spend 6 energy. So I'm at 8, so I'll be down to 2. So I'm gonna play temporal lapse. So basically, this could be a gamble because the next 2 creature cards could be very weak creatures, and that won't help me. But I'm gonna play this and just keep it hanging out here so I know that it's in play. I can just skip the next 2 creature encounters, which might be a good gamble or a really dumb gamble, depending on how that goes. So let's keep going. If the next 2 creatures are 3s, then that really pays off. If not, that's kind of a bust. So I get a victory point. Cool. So I'm up to 4. I'm doing pretty good here. I'm going to keep going. So I'm going to move my guy down to the next thing. Take 2 damage, but because this triggers once, I don't take damage for this guy, which is great. However, I don't think I'm going to be able to survive this entire run. So I'm just going to keep going and see how far I can push and get some victory points. All right, so I did luckily at least get one of the 3, so Doombringer does not affect me. This now goes away because I've now skipped the next 2 creature cards, just gonna keep going. Solo mode tends to go fairly quickly. I'm just taking time to chat as I go. So I've got 2 hit points. I'm like 10. I always like to push my luck. This is where it gets problematic because I've got 2 health left, and looking based on like what I've got, so there's 2, like, so I could push my luck and potentially get a void beacon or a chance matrix, which would be good. But if this is the other 3 damage card, I'm totally smoked here. So I'm gonna give it a shot and see what happens. All right, so I'm gonna push my luck, and oh crap. That was not what I wanted to have happen, but that's okay because it's kind of fun because I messed up, and basically that's going to make it a little bit harder, which I think it makes it a little bit more fun. I tend to like pushing my luck in games. I tend to do it too much. So because I died, so now I'm totally took all the damage. Next run's going to be really tough because not only do I lose all of my current ability cards I have, I don't get any energy for all of the cards I've cleared because I've died. I've been punted from the void. And we're going to start next round. So I'm going to remove 1 from the time tracker. I've got 4 rounds left to get the rest of the victory points. And that could be a bit of a challenge at this point. I like solo games that are hard. It's possible to win this one depending on how you go. But I find that most of the times I've played a solo with MINDBURNERS, it tends to be pretty close by the end. And I've definitely had runs where I was a little too playing by the seat of my pants and definitely got completely crushed. Alright, so that's reshuffled. I'm going to start by resetting my hit points to 5. I only have 2 energies, so depending on what abilities I get, I might be in for some problems. Okay, cool. So I do have enough energy to play Thought Shield this run, so that's good. I can't play this one because I don't have enough, but I could potentially save it if I survive. And then Cybernetic Implant. Ooh. I'm gonna play that. So that one has a P. It can be played during the prep phase. I'm gonna gain 3 hit points. 1, 2, 3. So I've got 8 hit points. That sets me up to potentially be okay. And let's just dive into the void. So I'm ready to go. I'm not gonna use any other trading things. Let's just go for it. And that's a good start. I will take the victory point. I'm just gonna keep going. 2 damage. Ooh, 1, 2. So I'm down to 6. It's pretty good. I'm gonna save this in case any of the big boys show up. So let's just go. Boom. I'm gonna burn my energy to play Thought Shield, and I'm gonna skip taking damage from this guy because that's something I do not want to do. I'm just gonna keep going. Yes, victory points. I'm up to 6, so I'm doing pretty good actually. I might actually win this solo game, which doesn't always happen. So here's the question. This is where it gets a little tricky because the thing is, the 10-card Void deck, it's predictable in terms of what's in it. There's only 2 Void Beacons, there's only 2 roll event cards, and the rest are different types of monster cards. I don't know how far I want to push my luck on this one because I basically am limited by my hit points at this point. I have no other cards I can play that will let me avoid damage. So I'm going to keep going just a little bit to see if I can get some additional energy, because if I don't die, I'll get energy for these cards, and that will help me in the next run. So I'm down to 5. Just going to keep going. There's no way I can die. Probably. Oh, God. All right, so I'm going to do Chance Matrix. This could be cool. This could be bad. Let's see. 2. So I'm going to draw an ability for the Reserve Bunker. Sweet. Infernal Armor, take 1 less damage. And potentially 1 more, but I don't have any energy to play this, so I'm going to hang on to these for now. Let's just keep going. Let's see what we got. Alright. Down to 1. I'm going to push my luck and just do 1 more. So I'm going to take the 3. So that puts me down to 1 hit point. Oh. This is where it gets this is where I have a hard time because I always tend to I like to gamble with push your luck games. Do I make this stupid decision to... So what, there's 2 cards left? There's 2 cards left. One of those 2 cards left is going to give me a lethal damage that I cannot prevent. Oh, do I do it? do I play it safe? Because like how many rounds left? So this round. So I've got 3 rounds after this, and I still have got more victory points to get. You know what? I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna push one more, and it kills me. All right, so that was 2 rounds where I lost from being a little bit risky, which is fine because I still have some more time to go. Oh god, here we go. So I lose all my ability cards, which is fine. This gets reshuffled. I do like playing the solo mode because I tend to just like I do it to myself. I really like I am punishing myself because I like to be like, oh, this could be a 50-50 chance I'm gonna get totally annihilated. That feels enticing to me. Anyway, so all right, that's reshuffled. I'm gonna remove 1. So I've got, so this round, including this round, I've got 3 rounds left to get 4 more victory points, which is totally doable. But it's getting a little bit closer to the danger zone. So I'm gonna reset to 5. I'm gonna draw. So these are, I've got 2 ability cards. I'm gonna reshuffle what's remaining real quick. So you don't have a ton of abilities that are, you don't have quite as many, maybe roughly half. I think there's 12 abilities that you get to use in the solo mode. So you don't have quite as much stuff to do, but these are all tend to be fairly useful if you can have enough energy to play them. My problem is I have no energy, so if I get any cards that actually, if they all cost energy, I'm going to be super limited, which is kind of the fun of this, I guess. I think for me, yeah. So I have some stuff I can do. Oh, nice. All right, so I've got Doom Collector. I love this card because I like skulls. As you can probably see from my coffee skull tattoo. If I die this run, I can basically store energy that you would lose. So there's a couple different. So some of these cards are open to interpretation, sort of how you want to play them. When I made this card, I made it with the intention of if you have it in your hand and you die, you can play it. However, realistically, like I think it makes more sense to just basically play it and then it's in play. And so if it happens, I'm good. So I'm just going to use that. So I'm gonna hang on to that though, because maybe I want to save this for later. Let's just kind of see where I'm at, because I might really need that energy to get through. All right, I guess we're gonna just dive in. So I've got 3 rounds left. I've got 4 victory points I got to score. Let's start with the chance matrix, which I don't mind. No, I do mind. I mind this very much. No void shapeshifter. Yes. Okay. So I avoided taking damage from this. There's not a lot of cards in the roll events deck that will actually damage you. That is one of them. Thank gosh. Okay, so gonna keep going. Woo. And I just took it on the chin. That's not good. 1, 2, 3. I've got 2 hit points left. So now I'm in like a. This is where. Oh god. I'm probably in deep doo-doo at this point. I'm gonna probably need to play this, but I want to. All right, I'm going to play this now. So I'm going to play Doom Collector. It doesn't cost any energy to play. If I die, I'm going to at least get energy for the cards I was able to get through. This next card could totally kill me, though. If it's a 2 or 3, I'm done. And it's a 2, and I'm dead. But at least I will take the 3 energy that I would have not normally gotten because I have Doom Collector. And that was a quickie run. So I just got totally, literally crushed to death. And I've got 2 rounds left. So in the beginning you can kind of see like, oh, I've got plenty of time. I'm doing really great. I've got all these cards and abilities. And then like as you start to run out of rounds and depending on how you push it, like you can play it pretty safe and still potentially run into a problem. But yeah, so I was a little bit haphazard. So I'm going to remove 1 from the time tracker. I've got 2 rounds left to do this. I don't think that's going to happen potentially, but we'll see. And these go away. Fresh round, hit points back up to 5. I've got 3 energy. That gives me a little bit to work with, but it's still not much. But I could potentially could play any of these cards. So Future Optics right now is not as useful for me because, I mean, I guess I could use it anyway depending on what happens, but I don't really, this isn't super important to me as much as these 2 are. If I use Blood Program, that's going to help me a lot, but I'm going to burn all my energy, and I'm going to just wait and see how this works out. Let's just dive in. Try to keep this quick and moving, and right off the bat, I take 3 points. This is a really poor start. this is where decisions get tricky. So if I play Void Sight, it doesn't really help me because I can look to see what the next card is going to be, but I have to spend energy to do it, and then I can't use that to gain health. So I'm going to spend my 3 energy, oh boy, to play Blood Program and get 4 health. 1, 2, 3, 4, which means I have a better chance of getting a little bit further, and I really need these victory points because I'm going to be down to like the last round here. So I'm going to keep going, push my luck, and yes, I will take a juicy, sweet, delicious victory point. Great. I'm going to keep going because I have no choice. And I'll take 1 damage from Vile Dangler. I'm going to keep going. So the option at this point is like I basically need to keep pushing my luck no matter what because I need these victory points. So I've got 2 victory points now. So here's where it gets tricky because I've already gotten the 2 victory point cards. So the rest of the cards in this deck are either going to be damage dealing cards or potentially roll events, which could be some victory points coming out. There's a few cards there that potentially give me victory points. And I have enough hit points to take another hit from a 3 damage creature, so I'm definitely going to keep pushing my luck a little bit just to see what happens. I can't afford to die this run because I'm going to be in really bad shape energy-wise, but if I can get as much energy as possible from a successful run, that will help, even though I don't think I can survive the entire deck at this point. So I'm going to do Chance Matrix. Oh no, this is going to be a bad one. Neither of these are actually really good for me, so I might either have to stay in the void for another turn, forcefully, which I probably would have done anyway, or I'm just immediately kicked out, which doesn't mean I die, but it's not great. 4. So I'm ejected. So I have no choice. I have to leave the void. But I leave the void alive, so I do. So this run ends. Oh, you know what? I could have used Future Optics, but I didn't, so I'm just going to play it like that I could have chosen another card. I was not paying close attention. So I will at least get, let's see, so I'll get 5 energy, which is not bad. I'll take that. This goes away. This goes away. So this is my last round to do this. Otherwise, I totally lose and the void is sealed forever and all the bad things happen. Whatever. Thematically, it's a little silly. It's like, oh, you close the void, do the thing, but get all the stuff. So, in any event, this is my last shot to get 2 victory points. And I'm kind of at the same, basically the same kind of level I was when I started the game. I've got 5 energy, I've got 5 health. I need 2 victory points, so this is going to be a close one. Because I got ejected from the void, but I didn't die, I do get to keep one of these cards, and I think I'm going to keep, I don't know. I have no choice but to push my luck until I get victory points, probably. So I'm going to get rid of Void Sight. I'm going to keep Future Optics, just gives me a chance to maybe influence things. And I'm going to draw 2 cards. Cool. This is not bad. The question is, yeah, so this is what I'm going to do. Cybernetic Implant, I get 3 hit points if I play it, and I can play it during the prep phase before I go. And I could spend 3 energy to draw an extra card, so that's cool. I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend, so I'm just play it for free. I'm going to gain 3 hit points, 1, 2, 3, and then I spend 1, 2, 3 to draw an extra card. Discard this card to draw 2 more cards. Do I want to do that? Yes. Yes, I want to do that. Cool. This could, oh, okay, so this is helpful. I've got 2 energy left, so I can play either Infernal Armor or Thought Shield if I need to, and I've got 2 no-cost cards to play. That's not bad. It's a good setup for going into the final run. Let's just do this and see what happens. I don't mind losing. That's kind of like the fun of solo games, is they should be hard. This is not a good start though. So right off the bat, I take it on the chin from Ominous Orb, and that puts me at 5. But I do like getting these nasty 3 damage cards out early if I have ways to mitigate that. Although honestly, I'm going to take that because I want to save these cards. I want to save this. I could basically use this to ignore that. I'm going to save this to the end because I think I'm pushing for a win here. So let's just see what happens. So keep going. 2. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take that damage. Do I want to take that? Yes, I'm gonna take that damage. I think this hand of cards actually sets me up to potentially survive. But we're gonna see what happens. Last round, let's just go for it. Boom. I'm going to take 1 damage. This might actually be slightly dangerous. I am going to take the 1 damage, so I'm down to 2, but this means that if it's a 2 or 3, it could kill me, and I don't have a ton of options. So I've got these 3 that can prevent some damage. I'm going to at least... I'm going to keep pushing, because I don't have much choice. So let's go... Boom. So that would kill me. I'm going to do some things here. I'm going to just take... I'm going to spend... Oh, God. I'm going to spend my... Oh, this is tough. It's a really tough choice. I'm going to use this for free to ignore the effects of this void event, so I'm not going to take that damage, and I'm going to keep my energy, so I think I might be able to make this. So let's just keep going. Boom. I'm going to push these up. Sorry, I'm not sure if I was doing that well enough. All right, so this would basically kill me, but now I'm going to actually spend... I'm going to spend the 2 energy I saved. I think I might do this. And there's no victory points. I'm actually, I might actually totally do this here. So no damage for that because I spent that thought shield and energy. And I can't play Infernal Armor, so I'm just going to get rid of it at this point. And I've got Future Optics, and that's what's... Like, I think I'm good. I think I'm actually going to do this because I don't have... Unless Chance Matrix potentially kills me, because there are some cards in here that are not good. Ooh, I do like that. 6. Gain 2 hit points. Yeah, I basically won this match. I'm excited about that. Usually I don't win these. I take the 1 damage, so I'm good. I got 3. Boom, victory point. And I am going to play this out, though, because I'm just curious to see if potentially roll events would kill me. Draw a roll event card. This could be bad. All right, so I'm going to move this out of the way. These are all gone. I'm going to put it down here. If for some reason this is a bad roll event... Okay, Death Trap. I think I can survive this, so I'm good. Avoid all damage. So there are some roll event cards that will just boot you out. So if I got ejected from the void at this point, I would lose because I just don't have the victory points. However, I'm going to keep going and win because that gives me a victory point. Plus, because I cleared all these cards, I get 2 extra victory points. That puts me off of the board. Yes, and that was the last round, so yeah. So that's basically a solo run of Mindburners. I did pretty good that time. Usually I don't do so well. You know, it's definitely not quite as punchy as the multiplayer game, because I really think I like about this game the most when playing with multiplayers is like it's so unpredictable about who's going to use what cards against you, because all of these naughty or like take that style cards. Well, not everyone likes take that, but if you're playing with friends and you like to mess with each other, this is definitely a game for that in terms of multiplayer. You know, like. It makes the whole runs much more unpredictable, but I do like sort of the vibe of just doing the solo run and seeing like, can I beat the clock without totally getting annihilated? So, in any event, that was Mindburners, a solo run through, super quick, hopefully, and thanks for watching.